I'm Tom, Tom's daughter. No, not my daughter. Just two idiots in a car talking about stupid shit. It's not going to help anyone's mental health. People are crazy. This is a start. Wish us luck.
Is my name necessary or not? Hello. Konnichiwa. No, that is wrong. What's the
That's
other?
okay. That's
Hello.
okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Konnichiwa.
And your trademark.
Hello.
Yes. Now we are complete. Today's topic.
A messy topic, just like this unmoderation.
It's a bit of a messy topic, but it's also something that is quite important that happened probably around 5 years ago. And there was few things changed in everyone's life and how that shaped the way we live, the way we see things. And for some people, that change has been pretty profound. Today's topic is about the global pandemic, COVID-19, that happened in 2019, end of 2019, early 2020. But yeah, everyone knows about that. So this is going to be a bit of that and some memories of that, living through that era and coming out on the other side. Yes. So I'll ask you this question: what do you remember about COVID-19 or that time?
So I remember, allegedly, the first case that I heard about was after the Australian Open, the tennis. Some of the tennis
Oh, yeah, it
players
is that
actually
time, yes.
felt sick,
Mm-hmm.
and they must have spread it a little bit across. And after that, there was some cases in Queensland, I think. And
Where were you?
I was in Queensland.
You were in Queensland.
Then
okay.
I flew into Melbourne and started my farm work on a nice little farm in Victoria.
Where was the farm?
Shep.
Ooh, Shepparton.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be.
Well, it wasn't in Shep, it was in the surroundings. But yeah, that's where my COVID started. A farm where we had 45-ish backpackers.
Okay.
Then the season was in between.
Uh-huh.
Some backpackers tried to find a different farm because
Obviously.
the next season would start in 2 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
And out of a sudden, they weren't allowed to come back anymore because of COVID. So it was me alone in a farm because I actually had to do my farm work due to visa reasons. Everybody else has left. And I was there alone, and then one girl was allowed to come back. So it was two of us.
Right. What did you do in this farm?
Apple, pear picking.
You're picking fruit and veggies.
So it ended up me and a Dutch girl, and for a while there was a French girl that was allowed to come.
Oh, all your favorites are in one
And
place.
but she didn't do the farm work too long. It was farm work in Australia is a different topic as well. That's a
We can definitely discuss
that's
that.
a good one.
I haven't done farm work, so I wouldn't have much to add on that. But I can definitely be a listener.
But yeah, so that's where it started. And because out of 45 backpackers, only 2 were there, things changed. We were only allowed to leave the farm once a week to get groceries. Otherwise, we didn't leave the farm, which could have been fun if there would have been more than 2 people. But
That's gonna be hard. I'll totally get that.
it was an intense time. 2 girls alone in a farm.
How long did you stay there?
A couple of months.
But wait, wasn't it lockdown there?
There was, but you still have to do farm work because we stayed on the farm in between the orchards, and we just had to move to another orchard, so we didn't leave the premises.
You were observing the physical distance barriers and things, I guess. Yeah.
So our barracks were here, then there was some apple trees here, some here, and
Okay.
we could observe the wildlife and the orchards. That was it was very interesting. And there was a camp with Australian people. There was a camp for backpackers and a camp for Australian people. And yeah, at the end we actually worked
They put you into different groups of people.
to keep the
Wow.
backpackers away from the locals.
Okay.
But then we actually
I don't want to get into the reason behind it, but okay.
no, but yeah, then because it was the 2 of us, we had our own tractors. We could drive our own tractors and pick as we went.
You can drive
Then we-
tractors. I did not know that.
I have my license for tractors because I grew up in a country town in Germany. So we drove our own tractors around, picked our stuff, and then dropped the tractors off at the shed.
Okay.
And because it was only two of us, we got quite friendly with the supervisor and the boss. And sometimes we got to the shed, dropped off our apples, and got 2 beers. And I drove with my car to our place while drinking a beer because it's a 2-minute drive on a private property. So
Ooh.
there was some weird stuff, but that was COVID.
Okay.
And a one-day grocery shopping, we started with Macca's, fries and burgers.
But you don't eat Macca's.
Well, not for me.
Okay.
Then we stopped at Zambereros to get burgers, and then we stopped at Domino's to get pizza, and at Woolies to get some other stuff for during the week.
It was like the worst food possible in every sense.
Well, and then on that day we had a feast, and half of that we ate on the next day, and a leftover the next day.
Oh my god. Leftover Macca's is like,
No, the Macca's was finished. The burrito and the pizza was half for the next day as well.
Even pizza, keeping it for another day is pushing it.
Really? I always eat my pizza the next day.
Okay. If it works for you,
Cold
great.
pizza's the best. But yeah, I was locked at the farm, and that was the start of COVID.
Okay. I have a lot of memories. I have a lot. Starting from, I was in Europe. I flew to Europe 2019 November. It was a really turbulent time in my life. And I came back. I went to visit my sister. She's in the Middle East. And I came back first week of December 2019.
That might be a fun fact. I came to Australia August 19,
Okay.
and my friends were supposed to come travel with me, but thanks to COVID, that didn't happen. If I would have waited, I would have never been here.
Well,
I could
things would have been very different
I
for
could have
us.
avoided this podcast.
You could have, yes. But then again, you would never be part of this podcast, and
What a shame.
what a shame. The world would have lost this talent, and your face, and your smile, and all these things that gonna live in YouTube forever until the end of time.
Thanks. So
I know.
rude.
I know.
Go back to your COVID story. That's more fun.
Yeah, I have so many memories about that time. It was crazy. When I came back, I went back to work, and I think it was 2020 March when we had the lockdown, or Feb end, somewhere like that. The first time the lockdown, and it's just, I don't think anyone expected it to be that serious. At that point, everyone was like, nobody really knew what the implications were. Like, everyone knows something's there. Then there was the Chinese New Year, a lot of celebrations happen, and you hear these stories like, people are infected. Then the government came in and said, you need to have a lockdown. People didn't listen at that time, and even the positive people, positive as in COVID positive people, they were tracked. I mean, not tracked, like they were found out to be out in the public, spreading it to other people. And that's when the government took somewhat of a hardline disciplinarian method, I would say, and it was pretty strict. A lot of things were locked down. The businesses were suffering. A lot of people lost their jobs because obviously there was no jobs. Me working in the financial sector, I had to work, and the roads were empty. Driving to work was cruisy at that time. Everything was shut down, and I would make it in 15 minutes or something. 5 minutes, 5 kilometer radius we had. Like, there was a curfew kind of thing. You can't travel more than 5 kilometers. If you need to have special permissions, which I had that. There was a letter. So if I was stopped, I could show that letter why I am outside. 2020 was really a lot of things changed in my life. I had a relationship breakdown and moved out to a different place. Friends and other people were beyond that 5 kilometer radius, so that was hard. Everyone was stuck in their houses, and oh my god, there were so many things that happened around that time. And I think about it, so many things. 5G was getting installed, and the stories and the conspiracy theories, oh my dear god. Me having a bit of science background, I was the idiot who would go and explain these things to people.
Mansplain things.
Oh yeah. Oh, there were stories that this was invented to install 5G so people could be mind controlled by other creatures that are living among us, apparently.
Unfortunately, that didn't work.
That-
Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, but then there was the other conspiracy where this is all to sterilize people. Then there was a third one that all the people who got vaccinated are going to die, and this is all for population control. And
None of that worked. They failed drastically.
it is so funny for me. Like, a lot of people is like, this is all Bill Gates, and Bill Gates' idea of depopulating the world. I'm like, he's a businessman. More people, more business. Less people.
Really?
Yeah, less people means less business. Anyone who's running a business don't want to lose customers.
It's like 1 + 1 means 2.
That was insane. And a lot, you have no idea the amount of people who believe this kind of stuff. And I know people who, didn't want to get vaccinated. And again, the science background, I can explain vaccinations to you.
Can we skip that?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Thank you. I know how vaccinations work. I learned that in school.
Good.
Other
I mean,
places.
a lot of people learn things in schools, but a lot of people don't really understand what they learn or how it works in the context of life.
So in case somebody wants a detailed explanation, write a comment and I promise you get a 20-minute mansplaination for it. Otherwise we skip that part.
I don't think anybody needs that at this point. It's a long lost memory now. But when it was happening, everyone was stuck at their houses and cooped up and not having.
Everyone, speak for yourself.
Well, most of the people in Victoria at least, and some other countries. But anyhow, there was one thing that really pissed me off. It was that this idea that air travel is not going to be reinstated up until 2025, which I did not like, because
that was an interesting one.
I can see why they said that, because nobody knew how long it's going to last, because there was multiple strains of COVID was in effect, and everyone was like, oh, there's going to be a travel bubble or restrictions put in place forever, you can't travel. And I wanted to travel, and they said it's probably going to take up until 2025. It's gonna go. I was like, oh, I don't want to wait 5 years for things to go back. I wanted to travel, but luckily it did not, and there was a shortage of vaccines, so that was not making it easier. Then there was a vaccine passports. That was another thing. Yeah, there were so many things that happened around that time. Like, you needed to, if you're traveling, you need to show or submit that you've been vaccinated.
I can tell you more about the traveling part, because I was
Yeah.
lucky enough to get out of Melbourne before it actually locked down. Because I finished my farm work here, I needed a couple of extra days, so I went to South Australia. So to get to South Australia, you need a pass to cross the border.
Yeah.
Then you have to isolate for 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
before you can go anywhere. So I found a farm, I isolated there, worked at the farm, just fixed some fences and pushed some cows around, the usual.
Pushed some cows around.
Yeah, and some chickens as well, whatever I could do. So, and then I stayed there for a bit, and then I got to cross the next border to WA, which was highly locked down in Australia. That was the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an exemption because I was asked to help out with childcare of people that work in essential jobs.
Essential workers,
So I
yes.
got another border pass. And traveling over there takes quite a bit, and there was nobody on the road. Nobody. A lot of fuel stations weren't even open anymore because there was no deliveries. There was absolutely nothing going on. And when you get stopped, you need to show that you have your border exemption.
Board exemption,
You
yeah.
have your border exemption, you have your place where you're gonna stay for 2 weeks till like the period is over and you're all clear. And on the way back, all the testing, all the vaccines and everything needed to be shown. But yeah, it took, I think, 6 weeks to get to WA, which is usually just a week
Wow.
of travel with all the, you need to isolate, this and this, and the paperwork to be granted. That was interesting. So traveling, when it started, wasn't easy. When it was ongoing later, to come back to Melbourne was even more tricky.
The one thing that not just me in that case, almost the whole world understood, or the governments really understood, is how ill prepared we are as countries or legal authorities to face something that can happen in a very short span of time, where you have to put in practices and policies in place to protect the people. At the same time, you're not really equipped to deal with the consequences of that. A lot of people suffered mentally, a lot of people suffered physically, and it was like hilarious, like how bad we are as a health system. And Australia being one of the best countries in the world, it was pretty eye-opening experience for anyone that is concerned. The World Health Organization and all the other health agencies in every country suffered massively. The hospitals were not really prepared for that many influx of patients. The first few strains of this pandemic, or the virus, was pretty fast spreading. It was not lethal, but it was spreading a lot quicker, which is the conventional wisdom. Like, if it is lethal, it will kill you, and the infection stops with that. If it doesn't kill you, you carry that on for a longer period, thereby the chance of you spreading it to someone else is higher. So when we got to the Delta strain, I think Delta strain was a bit more lethal, and after that it became less and less virulent to different forms. I think altogether I have caught COVID like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. This is coming from a person who has been vaccinated, all the proper levels. But there were so many strains of this thing in the wild. And my experience is, the first time when I got it, it was hard. The second and third time, it was literally mild. The fourth time, I struggled so much. And the fifth and sixth, again, mild. After that, after the sixth time, which was like a couple of years ago now, I never got it. But that's anecdotal, because that's my experience. Different people have different experiences with COVID. Some people have suffered. I have lost one of my friends to COVID. So I know it's not, I'm in a very privileged place and in a system where, if at all I needed help, I probably would have got the best world-class health system to support me. Not everyone is in that privileged position, absolutely. But my father, when I was young, he used to tell me about the stories of the wars that he has seen. It's not like he was a soldier or anything, but he has gone through some times in history where things were not really there. So he had to line up in the queue to get ration, to get food and things like that. And he used to say like how privileged we are that we don't have to go through any of that. But living through a pandemic era, but again, this sounds strange. Physically, it's not that taxing. Yeah, you have issues with the whole infection, but it was more mentally taxing. I was isolated like everyone else, and you're just by yourself and you can't go out. You need that interaction with people, otherwise it becomes really challenging over time. I still remember there was days when I did not speak to anyone because I'm stuck at my house. and I can't go out, and I'm just watching videos or listening to something in YouTube and things like that. But it still put a mental toll on yourself. We used to have some other friends will get into a group call, and that's the only solace in that time. But yeah, there was a lot of mental anguish going through that.
I think a lot of it is mindset. The pandemic showed that the level of education
Mm-hmm.
for people
Mm-hmm.
is very, very poor. Very poor education.
Yeah.
But it also shows like that might be grown-ups, but we act like kids.
True.
Like when you tell a kid you can't go outside because it's raining,
Yeah.
every kid wants to go outside.
Yeah, that behavior was there. Yeah.
So it's the same. It's like, oh, usually I'm sitting in front of my computer every day and I don't want to go outside, but out of the sudden I don't want to play on my computer because I want my freedom and I want to do this and this and this.
Oh yeah,
That was interesting.
and that's another funny thing. I mean, because when this was going on, yes, it was hard for a lot of people to be told that you can't go out. And this happens when you live in a progressive or first world society where you enjoy the benefit of freedom, free speech, all that kind of things, and even the slightest of inconvenience feels like the biggest of deals. And all of a sudden people were saying that, oh, we are under some sort of really bad system where our freedoms are taken away, this is all bad. And again, I grew up in a third world country, so I'm like, it's not the same.
But I don't think it's the only reason. For me, it's pure rebelliously. If you say, ooh, sugar is bad for you, my thought is like,
I would say that even now.
I need sugar right now just to not do what you told me.
I don't think I need to tell you sugar is bad for you. You just addicted to
Yeah,
sugar.
but if you say, don't do this, don't touch the electric wire, my impulse is, I'm gonna touch it. So if you tell people not to do something, they want to do it even more.
Yeah, that was there.
And that plays a huge part, not just the other privileged stuff, it's just that mindset thing.
Yeah, and it was painted as like this plan by the government. I don't think so, because I don't think any government knew how to respond to something like this. Every day there's something's happening and people are dying, something has to be done, and we haven't faced with something like this. I just hope that if at all something like this happen in the future, we are a bit more well prepared to face that.
Doubtful.
Yeah, which is that scares me, because last time when it happened, the hospitals were overrun. We didn't have enough facilities, we didn't have enough beds, and that is in a first world country. Third world countries suffered, oh my god, so much. So many people died, and
But none of it has improved. Did any new hospitals open with more beds? Did any more acute clinics open? There was pop-up clinics during COVID, pop-up vaccinations, but everything went back to normal in the last 2 years. For a lot of people, it's like it never happened. Like even in small communities where during COVID you talk to your neighbors because you had nobody else to talk, so you would meet, you sit out at the front porch and just have your coffee and communicate over the street.
yeah.
After COVID disappeared, these connections disappeared too. So the human brain is so weird. As soon as something is over, we go back to normal like it never happens.
Well, we don't want to live in traumatic memories, right? That's the whole idea of...
Well, tell me about that one, but that doesn't mean you just forget about it and go back to normal. You still need to...
You know that saying that if you don't learn from history, it is bound to repeat itself. Hopefully it doesn't repeat. I don't want to be in another lockdown or any of that. And I hated wearing masks, and I was an essential service guy. I have this habit of always wearing a glass, and it would always get fogged up. I was not having the best time with the mask, and it gets itchy, all those kind of issues. But yeah.
Sorry, just distracted by a bird. I'm still listening.
You're distracted by a bird or the sunset?
The bird.
Okay. this happens.
The mask thing, I totally agree. Like, I was very, very happy. I was in Perth. Perth wasn't really in a lockdown. For 5 days we had to wear a mask because somebody, truck driver, came and got tested positive. So for 5 days we had to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I just didn't go outside because I didn't want to wear a mask, because if you wear glasses they fog up and everything is pretty annoying. And then
Yep, I can second that.
eventually I had to travel back to Melbourne for reasons. And then I actually crossed the border to South Australia and I had to wear a mask. I was living in my car, and when I went to a museum, to a gas station, whatever, I had to wear masks. Even in the car at times.
Yeah.
So that was a regret, ever leaving WA to come to Melbourne. I left WA, a free state, to come into a lockdown state. That was the biggest mistake I made during COVID.
For you it'll be a big change because I was here. I didn't go to any other place. It was okay. I mean, I got used to it. It wasn't the best or the ideal, but we have to do what we can with what we have. And I think the intentions behind it was purely logical. And again, my science background makes sense.
The use of the masks were not logical or scientific at all.
Why not?
They are surgical masks. They are meant for a short amount of time. Everybody was wearing them for way too long and not the right way. Even in Germany we had to have the other masks because these tiny,
I get it.
the FP whatever
Yeah. No,
that wasn't happening here at all.
I think the thread, the gaps between the thread should be 30 microns or something. There was like some specification for that, but a lot of mass that was in circulation did not meet that specification at all. So you might as well not wear it, because the whole idea is like when you speak and when you breathe, tiny droplets that comes out of your nostrils and your mouth, doesn't want that to be spread into the environment. I don't think a lot of masks did a good job. So yeah, it was a chaotic time and a lot of things that wasn't perfect. I just hope that we don't have to do that again, or we never find ourselves in a situation where we have to literally come up with new health procedures and policies and tell that to a very wide population, say, hey, this is what we have to do, and a lot of questions being unanswered and people are left in chaos. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
I would almost bet that it will happen.
Please don't bet on that.
It's only natural.
Yeah, I get it. It is quite possible.
It's the same with cancer. Cancer came and tried to rot out humanity, then you find a cure. The next thing comes, tries to rot out humanity,
You
and you find something.
can never eradicate cancer.
You can't eradicate, but you deal with it as best as possible. And COVID
That's
is
pretty
still
much
back. Just last week, one of my classmates had COVID.
Oh, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be like
So,
influenza.
yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, influenza used to be the biggest killers of humanity. And now, no, does anyone care? No.
Especially with all the, we found a frozen 1,000-year-old puppy here and there and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
These things have so many germs
Yeah.
that we don't know about anymore.
Yeah, but then again, the people who find these permafrost...
Are not always careful. Just saying.
Okay, the people who go and dig up on this ice, like for science purposes, they know what the hell they're doing.
Hey, I would dig it out and I don't know.
That's the problem. So you shall never go to permafrost or anything of that sort.
You can't tell me what to do.
I can and I will.
You can try. Good luck.
I always do. So yeah, there was a lot of memories with around that period, but I'm glad that it got over within two and a half years. We kind of got back to somewhat of a normal. I remember 2022 is when things went back to somewhat of a norm. We didn't have to check in where we are. We didn't have to worry about things. Yeah, and 2023 was okay.
Yeah, in Melbourne you had to show the QR code.
Yeah, that's the whole,
Yeah.
checking in and checking out, all that was there.
Yeah, I didn't have to do that, luckily.
Yeah.
But it was quite funny. You
We-
think like COVID would actually bring people closer because you validate your friends and families. But when I came back to Melbourne, I went to dinner with two friends because they helped me with my car and stuff. So it's like, okay, thanks for the help. We're gonna go to dinner or pie. So we went to a restaurant.
Yeah.
All three of us, we all basically left the phones in the pocket and we were chatting. And a couple walked in.
Yeah.
She's texting, he's on the phone.
Yeah. As any
They
good
order.
couple should be.
Well, depends if you're married or not.
Oh, then you walk even separate.
But yeah, he was on the phone, she was texting, they did their order thing and they sat down. Then he pulls out another phone, his texting is on the phone and she's on the phone. And we're just sitting there.
So they have like 3 different phones.
3 different phones, 3 different conversation, and then 3 people on the other table just looking at each other like, what is that? And you would think, after lacking this human connection for so long, you would want to connect. Even nowadays, I see so many people on their phone constantly,
Yep.
instead of having a conversation with the person that they're with. That is something I cannot understand. I just can't. And I would have thought that COVID, when you felt so alone, it would have changed it. I can understand maybe you were trapped with your partner and you want to break up, but you couldn't.
Not a good idea.
So
That's what
that
happened
one
to me.
maybe is a shitty situation.
That
But
was-
other than that, COVID would have taught you to be thankful, to be outside, to hang out with people, to have face-to-face conversations. But we still prefer to talk to our phones.
True, it's part of the new way of life, right?
Even you do that. Sometimes
Yeah.
when we're talking
Yeah.
or sitting around, you just scroll through Instagram and
Yeah.
watch your latest reels.
Yeah, no.
It's like, why?
I'm not saying that I'm immune to all these
Why?
things.
Have I done that?
Yeah, you have.
Usually only when you do that.
No, you've been doing that all day today.
I haven't even opened Insta.
No, well, not just Instagram. There's other things on the phone. I don't know what you were doing, but you were doing something.
Okay, call me out on that
You
one.
were just,
I need
I
to
mean,
change
yeah,
that.
we have like a million distractions. But there's one thing I would say. I really missed human contact when COVID was happening. I missed hugging people. I love hugging people. There was times when I got so fed up in my house by myself, I would go to Woolies or Coles because that was allowed, because you're supposed to get groceries. And I would just go there and I would have like 3 things in my bag because I had everything. And I'll just speak to the checkout person or something, because it was mentally really taxing for me with everything that was going on up in that time in my life. But I'm glad again that it is over. We can go out and appreciate the little things that nobody really cares or take it for granted. But that's the lesson. Whatever we think we have can be the reality what we have can be pretty easily changed to something that we are not really used to, and it can last for a while. With COVID, we didn't know how long it was going to last a couple of years. Then things went back to normal. People could travel overseas, people could meet outside without worrying about QR codes or handshakes. Or there was that, like no handshakes was permitted, so you just have to go and do this. I hated all that. I understood why, but I was not really a big fan of all that.
Yeah, you're one of these physical touch people.
Yes, part of being human is the physical contact. What is the point of anything without any of that?
Excuse me?
Yes.
You can be efficient without that.
Yeah, I don't want to be German.
Physical touch is disgusting. All that germ spreading stuff. Ugh.
Now you know what I'm dealing with here. It's not easy.
Oh,
yeah.
excusez-moi.
That's our memories for that time, the era of pandemic. We would be back again next week with something else, another different topic. Bye.